Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Lunch Break Live. Real talk about obesity, food obsession, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari de la Cruz, back in the saddle, back from Mexico. So glad to be here. And today I'm going to be talking about good intentions. I know it sounds kind of boring, but I promise you, it's going to be good. The funny thing is, every time I say good intentions, I think good vibrations, and I hear that Beach Boys song going over and over in my head. But anyway, enough about that. You guys should know about me, especially if you're a newer viewer and going, why the heck am I watching this show? Well, I can't answer that part, but I can certainly tell you who I am. I am a 2007 gastric bypass post-op, living life in recovery from obesity and food addiction as twice the woman in half the body. I'm also a recovery strategist, and what that means is I help people find recovery by finding and owning their own crap. So that's me. Of course, as usual, I got to know about you. So the top of the list is, how are you guys all doing? Everybody out there feeling good? If you're a newer viewer, make sure you give me a shout out and let me know that you are here. I got to put my glasses on for this as ever. So let's see, who is here? Mama, front and center. Hey, Mom, I left my phone in the car today, and that's why when you called me, I didn't get your phone call, and it probably went straight to voicemail because my voicemail's full. Really sorry about that. And I was like, how come nobody's calling me? Oh, they are. And then I was like, how am I going to do a show without a phone? Well, I found it. Put it together. I'm a little slow on the uptake today. Just a little slow. But hey, I'm here, and I'm going to do my best. Hey, Michelle, glad you're here. Georgette, I missed you too. I mean, you know, I know people hear Mexico and they think, ooh, Cancun, Ixtapa, Mazatlan. No, that is not the Mexico I went to. I went to Ensenada, which is lovely. They have little, boats that sail there, and it's delightful. But hanging out with family, very different, not resorty. I did put my feet in the sand, as you might have seen. I did get to go out and cruise the harbor on a boat with my niece. So, it was pretty fun. But definitely not the kind of vacation you think of when you consider 2 of those days were spent traveling in the car. It took us 9 hours to get there this time, which is insane. It usually takes maybe 3.5 or 4. So, can't get away from traffic. So anyway, I am really glad to be back, and I'm really glad that you guys are here. Kelly, one of my very proud patrons. I am so glad that you're here. And Dawn, are you a patron too? I don't want to miss patrons. See, I shouldn't have started calling out patrons because I got to remember who's a patron. Well, I'll be thanking you anyway at the end sometime. Anyway, hi, Mom. And Linda, glad you are here. And Kay, hey, Kay, are you a newer viewer? Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And let's see, Nancy, there you are. All right, guys. So I don't know what kind of attendance we're going to have today because it is summer. And of course, okay, well, if you become one, then I will give you a shout out and thank you for being one. Now I kind of like pre-thanked you. So anyway, thank you all just the same for being here. I'm really grateful for that. And like I said, we might be lightly attended today because A, people don't know I'm on. They don't know I'm back. B, they are busy and do have lives. C, maybe traveling to the Your Weight Matters conference in New Orleans for the Obesity Action Coalition, OAC. So I understand, but for those of you who are here, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm going to do my best to make sure it is worth your time. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's talk about intentions, all right? How many of you guys intended to lose weight when you had surgery or started your latest or last diet? How many of you guys intended to lose weight when you either had surgery or started your latest or last diet? Let me know. Give me some, thumbs up or some happy faces or something to let me know that, yes, you absolutely intended to do that. Let me know. Okay, more questions, all right? How many of you intended to keep it off forever? How many of you intended to keep it off forever? Let's see. How many of you intended to permanently change your behaviors once you lost the weight? How many of you intended to permanently change your behaviors once you lost your weight? How many of you, these are going to get harder. Okay, so Dawn, let me just check in with you guys. I got some thumbs up and some me. And Dawn says, I intended to lose weight, but to gain my health was more important. Okay, so you intended to gain health by, as a part of it, losing weight, right? That was your intention. All right, and you intend to keep it off. Hey, Dave, welcome in. I'm just starting with the questions, top of the show, about good intentions. Linda, I intended to keep it off. I see an ED there. All right, how many of you intended to work out 5 days a week? How many of you intended, when you started this new program, whether it was a diet program or whether you had surgery and you intended to lose weight and gain your health, how many of you guys intended to work out at least 5 days a week? And how many of you intended to never eat another carbohydrate ever again? How many of you intended, right? So you get started and you're like, okay, I'm going to have surgery, bariatric surgery, or I am on this, maybe it's a medically supervised weight loss program, or maybe it's Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or Nutrisystem or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to stick to that plan. I intend to follow the plan and never deviate from the plan. How many people intended to do that? To, in other words, follow the plan to the letter, okay? How many of you got what you intended? I guess that's the question I have. So if you had maybe a list of intentions, how many of you got what you intended? So Dorothy is giving me feedback from earlier, not when I was new, but 10.5 years in, I do work out 5-6 days. It's 5 to 6 days a week, no carbs, great plan, not realistic. Okay. All right, so you're finding that a little bit challenging to be that committed. All right, and Linda, yes, so you have managed to achieve all that you intended. Hey, Susan, by the way, I sent you Lunch Break Live postcards, and when I came home from Mexico, they returned them to me for saying I didn't put enough postage on it. Whatever. I'm really sorry. I'll send them back out. All right, at one time or another, my mom says, and Alex, Alexandra. Hola, Alexandra. Ella es mi amiga buena nueva de Mexico. Hola. Okay, so that's my new friend from Mexico. And let's see. And David Gleason, welcome, welcome. Glad that you're here. All right, so asking questions about your intentions when you set out to lose weight. Some of you had intentions to gain health. Some of you had intentions to never regain the weight once you lost it. Some had intentions to work out at least 5 days a week, never eat another carb again, stick to the plan, the program forever, okay? Linda says, now that I have my gastric sleeve in December, I try my best, right? So my last question was, did you get what you intended? Now, okay. So, and Anna, welcome, welcome. And Shantae, hey, you're a newer viewer, welcome. Just leaved on July 25th, was told to wait 6 months before workout, but walking will be okay. Right on, following doctor's orders. It's what, I'm asking about intentions. What are your intentions? What were you intending when you set out, you said, okay, I'm going to have the sleeve to treat my obesity. What are my intentions? Okay, that's what I'm asking. So, for those of you who said, well, you know what, I didn't get what I intended. Things are different, things change. For those of you, especially, maybe even people on demand who are watching this not live, for those of you, welcome, Denise, another newer viewer, welcome in. Okay, so why do you think that is? Okay, it's a big question, and I know I always say, I don't care about the why. But of course, a lot of us fixate on the why. We want to know why, right? So here's my question. Why do you think it is that you didn't get what you intended? All right? You made it, Tanya. Welcome in. You are definitely one of my patrons. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. As usual, you know how I love words and I love their definitions. And I think it usually enlightens us. It elucidates the subject at hand when I give the accurate definition and we talk about synonyms. So when we're talking about the word intention, right? What are your intentions with my daughter, right? We all know when dads say that. Yeah, I remember what my husband said. He said exactly what he was supposed to stay married to her forever. And 28 years in, we're doing okay. All right, so what are your intentions, right? Okay, but let's talk about this. It's defined as, now listen to this, an anticipated outcome that is intended or that guides your planned actions. Okay, seems straightforward enough. And here's some synonyms: aim, design, purpose, idea, mind, sake, view, will, end, and goal. All right, so pretty much what we all thought, right? I mean, that's what we thought. When we think about intentions, that's how we would consider it, right? Okay, but here's the interesting thing. When I kept reading more about what it means, check this out, okay? Get a load of this. The state of affairs that a plan is intended to achieve, and that, when achieved, terminates behavior intended to achieve it. What? That's kind of interesting. In other words, by definition, the behavior stops once you achieve the goal. That would seem to fly in the face of, I don't know, losing weight and, hitting your goal weight. And then, you intend to keep it off forever. But apparently, according to this, at least one definition, the behavior terminates after you achieve what you intended. Okay, so maybe you're like, well, I want to keep it off forever. So I haven't gotten there yet, so I shouldn't terminate the behavior. But how many of us do terminate the behavior? How many of us do hit goal and then stop doing everything we did? How many of us do, reach whatever it was we wanted to do, the number on the scale, and then we go right back and we go, yeah, well, I kind of fell back into my old habits. Yeah, I kind of started eating carbs again. I started doing things that I was doing before I lost weight. I mean, I was really, really good. And then, yeah, I used to work out all the time and now I don't. Right? That's because the behavior terminated once you achieved whatever it was that you said you had intended, which was quite often a number on the scale. Yes, often it is to get off medications, right? Diabetic meds, high blood pressure, cholesterol, whatever those meds are, right? Get off the sleep apnea machine. But how often do we hear stories of people who terminate the behavior that got them to what they intended, which was to be medication free, to be able to sleep without a CPAP mask, right? That's what happens all too frequently. So I'm wondering if intention really is the right word to use here in the first place. I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. In case you're wondering why I asked, by the way, I have had some encounters with a few people lately. I'm not naming names, and I'm not saying all of them were part of my family. I wouldn't say that, but I'm just saying there are a few. And they seem to have very good intentions, okay? Good people, good intentions. But they don't seem to have very good results. That's the thing, okay? They're optimistic, they're positive, and they don't give up easily. Yet there's just something. I don't know what it is. Something about it. And like this weekend in particular, because I had a little bit of time away from the show, I was like, what is that all about? Where is the disconnect between these good intentions and the lack of results? Where is the disconnect, and what could be the problem, that perpetuates this behavior? In other words, most of us say we learn our lessons by, when things happen to us. We're like, okay, I learned by doing, and something bad happens. I'm not going to repeat that mistake. I'm not going to let that happen again. Well, what is it then about some people who seem to have very, very good intentions, but don't ever seem to achieve what it is they had intended to achieve? Why aren't they learning? What is that all about? Okay, maybe, just maybe, this whole idea of the road to hell being paved by good intentions, yeah, maybe that's truer than we ever thought, right? We heard it when we were kids. Okay, especially when you consider the fact that intention is not action. Intention is not action. It is anticipation of something that's going to require action to achieve, okay? But how many people think about the action when they express their intention? Some people do, absolutely. Many don't. It's kind of like dreaming, but they're not thinking about the path to get there. They're just thinking, that would be nice, okay? But there's no plan of action behind it. They just want what they want. Now, a classic example of intention without action is something I used to say until my daddy cured me of it. Oh, it was excruciating the way he pained me, the way he cured me. Mom, you know where I'm going with this. Whenever I was asked if I had done something that I was asked to do, okay, so like whenever he asked me, he'd say, did you do this? You know, did you clean your room? Did you do the dishes? Did you take out the trash? Did you, whatever it was, right? My classic answer was, I was going to. Absolutely. I was going to, but, okay, but I didn't, right? But I would filibuster. Okay, but this came up and this came up and this came up and then I ran out of time and then every excuse, justification, right, in the world giving me permission so that he would forgive me and say, oh, I understand why you didn't do what I asked you to do. Oh, okay, never mind. That's what I hoped when I said I was going to. But the reality is I was really saying, I intended to, but then I just didn't do it. I was never that honest. Okay, that is the reality, but I didn't say that. And if I didn't say it, how could I hear it and believe it? Because I didn't believe it. I didn't think that. I was just feeling like I need to be excused for this, okay? So intent was not enough. That's the bottom line behind that. And my dad let me know it by chasing me around the house, intoning the words, I was going to, I was going to, I was going to, I was going to, I was going to. He said it for like, it felt like forever. It might have only been 5 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. But by the time he was done telling me I was going to, I was cured. Okay. I did not say that again. That is not to say, however, that my mentality behind that, which is to say, well, I wanted it to happen. Okay, I wanted it. That didn't change for a really long time, like maybe 40 years. I don't know. All right, here's the thing, okay? I think maybe it was more wishful thinking. That's the reality, right? Wishful thinking like, oh, yeah, that would have been nice. You know what? That would have been nice. Or, oh, I wish I had done that, but darn it, I just didn't. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble though. Okay, so even saying I wanted to do it might have been stronger here, but I don't even think I got that far because I probably did not want to do it, right? When I was asked to do it, I didn't want to do it, so I never even considered what actions I was going to take to actually, I don't know, do it, okay? But that was me, a typical kid, I don't know. I realize that's not everyone. Not everyone is like me, I understand that, but for those of us who are, for those of us who see themselves in that example, then this is for you, all right? What happens if you are a person who fully intends to do a lot of things because you are well-meaning? Everyone would say you mean well. Well, he meant well, she meant well, I know you meant well, right? They would say that about us, all right? So something to consider. What if you think it's a good idea and you have desire for it, right? So I think that would be a really good idea. I think it would be a good idea to keep my weight off. And I desire that, absolutely, whatever it is. So is it a plan or is it a dream? That's what you got to know. Is it concrete and tangible? We have a pathway to get there, or are we just saying, that sounds nice. I would like that. That would be good. Absolutely, I want that. Yeah, who wouldn't want that? You see, are you starting to hear a little difference here with perhaps how it is that the word intention is used versus how you might be using it, all right? What's wrong with dreaming? Nothing. There is nothing wrong with dreaming. So I'm not going there, all right? Unless you believe that those dreams, I don't know, maybe intentions are really results. So if you think that by thinking it, it happens, right? If you're one of those people that says, if I think it, it just is. It's reality. It's results. In other words, because I want it, because it's my dream, somehow it will just be achieved. It will just magically happen. I will win the lottery, even if I don't play the lottery, but because I think it would be really nice. You know what? I fully intend to win the lottery. Okay, but my plan, I never plan to buy a ticket. So how's that going to happen exactly? Okay, I know that's an obvious example, but a lot of things are obvious when you step back and take a look at them or someone else says it to you, but when you're living them, they're not so obvious, right? So here's some examples. just to see if this makes more sense to you guys. I intend to be promoted at my job. I intend to save 10% of my income each month and give 10% to charity or the church, whatever, okay? I intend to go to the gym a lot more this year. Oh yeah, I intend to do that. I intend to lose those 50 pounds that somehow found me again. I intend, I mean it too. I am not kidding. I intend to cut down on those bad carbs. Oh yeah. I intend to go to support group, right? It's a good idea. Who's going to argue with that? I intend to go to support group. I intend to see a therapist because this stuff that Cari's talking about stirs up a lot of stuff in me, and I don't know what to do with that. So I think it would be a good idea to go see a therapist. And then somehow when the show's over, you forget that you intended to see a therapist. I intend to follow my doctor's advice for my health. Okay? All of those things sound like very good intentions, don't they? But none of those things in and of themselves involve results. Okay? So, they're good intentions. Absolutely. Where's the plan? Where's the plan? The follow through. You say, well, I got a plan from my doctor. It's right there on the paper. Yes. But what is your plan to follow that plan? What is your plan to follow that plan when life doesn't follow that plan? Do you have a plan for that? Oh, I don't know, a plan B, a backup plan? You know, a backup to your backup? Okay, I think I'm onto something. I really, really do. I think, honestly, when we talk about intentions, what's missing is follow through. Where is the follow through? See it through. Follow it through. Where is that? Okay, there's simply the thought, I think, for a lot of us, that the want, okay, we've got the want, and then the not getting it. Okay, well, I just didn't get it. That's all. I mean, I wanted it, and then I just didn't get it. What happens in the middle of all of that, not getting it? What happens? What happens when you don't follow through on your intentions because they're dreams without actions or purpose? They're good dreams. They're nice dreams. Nothing wrong with the dream. But what happens when you don't follow through because you didn't have action or purpose behind them? Okay? How often do you blame someone else? Right? Well, I mean, it's not my fault that didn't happen. I mean, you know, or you just decide it was nobody's fault because these things just happen. People regain their weight all the time, you know? I mean, come on. People get busy, you know? They don't have time to work out all the time. I mean, people, what are you going to do? So all of a sudden, oh well, okay? Right? That's what can happen. So think about it. You don't have money in the bank, okay? And you lost your job. I mean, you didn't intend to lose your job, did you? Of course not. You just did. I mean, the company went out of business. They were cutting back. I mean, I didn't intend to lose my job. You gained weight on vacation that you didn't intend to gain. I mean, hello, everybody gains weight on vacation. Not my fault. I didn't intend to, right? Okay. Do you think it's harder to own your own crap if your world is full of good intentions but not a lot of follow through? Dun, dun, dun. There's the question. The big question. Do you think it's harder to own your crap if your world is full of good intentions but not a lot of follow through? I think good intentions mask our truth. Okay? And what that means is we don't have to own something if it was a good idea that just went bad. Or maybe it could have happened to anybody, so we don't have to own it. We're not responsible for that. It wasn't our fault. How can I own that crap if it wasn't my fault? Please. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like we dress it up in such a way that it's not crap. It just is. It's life. Life happens, right? Much harder to own crap if it's dressed up as good intentions and no follow through. Maybe much harder to own crap if we can blame someone else or blame no one. What do you think? Do you agree with me? I spent years being a victim of my own intentions. And it was really, really hard to own my crap because I could not see my crap. It was really nebulous, like nailing Jell-O to the wall, okay? really hard because I had good excuses, good reasons every time for why things didn't happen. Once my intentions became my purpose, ooh, now we're talking a different language, everything changed. So for example, if my purpose is to abstain from certain foods, then I'd better have a plan to achieve that, right? In my case, my plan is a physical list. I have a physical list of foods that I have no business going near, not options. They are on my abstinence list, right? Remember the recovery hokey pokey? I talk about it all the time, okay? I had good intentions to avoid a lot of foods. And I knew that those foods, I needed to avoid them because I didn't stop once I started. I had very good intentions, but without my lists, there was no follow through. There was no plan. It was just a good idea. It just made sense. And then when it was that oops, it just didn't happen. I still had good intentions, right? No follow through because I had no plan, no purpose. All right, so time and time again, those good intentions paved the road to my addiction hell. You knew I had to put it in there somewhere. So here's what I want to know. Are you someone who has good intentions, or does your life have purpose? If it has purpose, what is your plan to follow through with what you say you intend to achieve? If you intend to deal with your obesity, what is your plan to continue to do that for the rest of your life? Because obesity never, ever, ever goes away. Even though there's a number on the scale, right? Or your BMI, it never, ever, ever goes away. It's just treated. So what is your purpose and plan, not your intention, to treat your obesity? What if you're dealing with food obsession like I was, right? What is your plan to address that forever? Okay, the obsession gets quieter in my head, absolutely, but it doesn't take much to wake it back up. Let me tell you, it does not take much to wake it back up and say, oh yeah, oh my gosh, I remember that. Oh, look at that picture, okay? What is your plan? If your purpose is to treat your obesity, to treat your health and have good health, what is your plan? What is your follow through? Only you can answer that, okay? So if you are a person who has a lot of good intentions, look at whether these are dreams, good dreams, without follow through and purpose for achieving results, okay? All right, so that's it for me. I know you guys are talking a lot, and I want to address it, but I don't have time to do it on live program, so I'm going to do it offline. I have a couple of announcements again, and I started to talk about it at the beginning of the show. From the very bottom of my heart, my patrons, thank you. God bless you for supporting me in the work of recovery. It was my intention to continue to do this program, and you guys have helped me by becoming patrons of the show. You have helped me to continue to do this and hopefully expand and branch out and do more things. So thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you guys very much. And again, Recovery Rebel tees. Where are my Recovery Rebels? You guys got your tees. Why am I not seeing more pictures of you? Huh? Are you really rebels or not? If you have to hold it up in front of you because it's a gold tee and you're not in it yet, that works for me, okay? I want pictures, guys. Pictures of you guys doing wonderfully healthy, rebellious things. I need to see those pictures with the hashtag Recovery Rebel, all right? And I've heard a few people say that they're going to be at the OAC, Your Weight Matters Conference in NOLA in New Orleans, and they said they're going to wear their Recovery Rebel tees. I want to see pictures. I love it, all right? So everybody who's out there, a big hey. I hope you guys have an amazing time at the convention. I miss you. Meanwhile, for all of you guys who are here with me, I not only intend to be here tomorrow, but I plan and will follow through with all of my being. All right, guys? So I'm going to sign off for now, and I am going to remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Oh, share the show.